I'm lucky enough to live in one of the most beautiful and probably one of the most iconic cities on the planet. It's a pleasure to be here. It's full of beautiful things to look at, very old things to look at, full of fun things to do, especially in the now just past carnival season. You guys have loved and have been loving still the what I eat in a day videos that I filmed for you guys here. So I thought I would bring you a what I eat in a week as a girl who lives and works full-time in Venice, Italy. We started the week off in a super simple way, thankfully with a hair wash, both for me and for all of you watching. Started off with some simple muesli that I'd bought at the supermarket recently. Nothing fancy, just your standard kind of dried fruit and seeds one. A little bit bland, to be honest. Don't know if I would rebuy this particular kind, but I added some milk and I also chucked in a wee sprinkling of toasted sesame seeds because I didn't have any nuts because I needed to do some food shopping, but it did the job. You know, I added a little bit of flavour, a little bit of savouriness. As all good muesli eaters do, I let it sit for 15 minutes before eating and then made myself a little coffee on the side in the mocha. I think I added some milk as well. Yes, I did. Proof in the pudding right there. Proof in the coffee. Drank it while pottering around and doing some stuff on the computer before going out to run some errands. Look at that freshly washed hair. Finished off this half container of pumpkin gnocchi that I had, along with some gorgeous guanciale. I say gorgeous, the best quality that I wanted to stretch the budget to. Made it crispy, then cooked the gnocchi, added it all together with a little bit of butter and some pecorino on top. In the afternoon, I had some dark chocolate. This is from the Cocoa Runners monthly subscription box, and let me tell you, it was banging. Followed it up with some cashews later on because I was hungry before having this that you're probably sick of seeing, couscous with greens, peppers and tuna. It's an absolute banger. It's a go-to just now. It's my favourite way to eat vegetables. Super easy and you can prep it ahead for days. The following morning began with some pastries from one of my favourite pasticceria ever. Got a selection because there were a few of us there in the morning and honestly because I wanted more than one. I started off with one of these pistachio, I don't know what you call it, pistachio nut, pistachio braid, I don't know. A kind of buttery puffed pastry bread combo filled with pistachio cream. Just an absolute knockout, a 12 out of 10. Everything that you think she's going to be, she is. Sadly, there had only been 2 left in the shop that morning. Otherwise, I would have bought like 15. Obviously, I had this with a coffee and the company of a charming boy from Sardinia would recommend, followed by their pan au chocolat, also banging. Not quite as good as the pistachio one, but still banging. Lunch was a quick snack of some fresh stracchino cheese and seeded breadsticks because I was running late for work. And in the evening, as part of our staff meal, I had some meatloaf with some cheese inside, some couscous and some salad. The following morning was not it. This day, I wasn't feeling anything this day, but you know, we get up anyway. As always, flexing on everybody with my fashion sense, I reached for the same thing I'd had a couple of days before. I had some of the muesli with some milk. There you can see me pouring the milk in before allowing it to sit because as I said, muesli should never be eaten straight away. Ideally it's left like even overnight, but yeah, as long as it gets like thick and creamy and absorbed, it's so much better. Threw on a packet of these salted cashews because the sesame seeds didn't hit quite as I wanted them to, and this time I think it worked better. A bit of body to it, you know. Lunchtime it was a quick chicken ramen with some greens thrown in and an egg because it's what I fancied. So here you are, some very cheap, very unsexy homemade ramen with some sesame seeds and some chili flakes on top before heading in very happily to a sunny shift at work. Look at Venice, isn't she pretty? Dinner was some leftover meat and some rice and some salad, nothing super fancy, before coming home to a tiramisu that one of my flatmates had made and had allowed me the honour of the first taste. Very happy. Day 4 was my day off. I did not get out of bed until about 11:30 because that is my right. So lunch / breakfast, brunch, I guess, was a poke bowl. I love poke. I try not to get it as often as I would like it because, you know, budget and things, but this was mixed white and brown rice with tuna, mango, cashew, avocado, carrot, seaweed, spicy mayo, everything. And I had some of these Venetian galani or chiacchiere. These you find during the carnival season all over Italy. Basically, super thin pieces of fried pastry with icing sugar. Also had this lovely juicy blood orange as a snack later because 'tis the season and they are super cheap everywhere right now. Followed it with a little something savoury with a couple of slices of this gorgeous pecorino cheese because dinner was slated to be later on than usual that evening and I needed to tide myself over. Because it was pancake day, Shrove Tuesday, folks, dinner was unsurprisingly pancakes. This was the first time that these three Italians had eaten Scotch pancakes before, and they were just as excited about it, thankfully, in the end, as I was, because they turned out well. We had two of us manning the pancake pans all times, and despite some of them coming out a little more well-fired than planned, overall, we did pretty good. Day 5 started similarly late. We didn't wake up particularly early, so breakfast/lunch was pasta. Amatriciana with penne and some pecorino cheese on top. Nothing super fancy, followed again, as many things you will see this week were, with a blood orange before heading in to start my shift that evening. And again, look at Venice in the sun. I mean, she's pretty even when it rains, especially when it's foggy, but she's very pretty here. Stopped for a coffee because I needed it for the energy before having some more meatloaf, cheese, rice and salad as fuel before my shift. 6th day of the week. Woke up with some fairly tragic hair and started with, surprise, surprise, folks, a blood orange. Who'd have seen it coming? Look at them though. They're so sexy and they're here for such a short time that it's criminal not to eat them. Had a couple of these Sardinian pistoquedus, which are like Sardinian Savoiardi biscuits, dunked into coffee as breakfast because I just really fancied it. They're not too sweet, and they're just a really nice kind of light thing to have with coffee while still hitting that kind of sweet craving. And at lunchtime, I decided to use up some red lentils that I found in my drawer of the kitchen. Cooked it up with some herbs, some tomatoes and some onion and some of this kind of rigatoni style pasta to make a veggie ragu kind of thing, if you will, before having this very psychedelic pizza with sausage and red cabbage and some mango juice for dinner. Don't ask. Day 7 started with a couple of these biscuits that I had to eat because, again, I woke up kind of late and didn't want anything super heavy before lunch. Lunchtime, I made the same pasta as the day before with a nice little drizzle of olive oil because the cheese was finished. And in the afternoon, because I really fancied making something and because I wanted to make some nice things to give to friends and flatmates, I made some lemon curd. I was really craving it. It's been a long time since I had it. So just your standard mix of butter, sugar, lemon juice and eggs. And look at it. It's like sunshine in a jar. And it goes so well on pancakes, scones, bread, anything. Headed into Venice with some friends in the evening. Had this kind of, not like a kebab, but like a porchetta wrap from a place in Venice. Really, really good. And super filling for a night of failing at table football. And watching one of our friends in a little jam session in this tiny place that I'd never been in before, but really enjoyed it. Super, super cute and super fun vibes. And even though Easter is still like 2 months away, I had some chocolate cremino eggs before going to bed that night, because why not? And that's it. That's everything I eat this week.